Hello everybody, and welcome back to Crusader Kings 3. We are playing as Duke Dizzy, newly of Gwyneth. We began our life in Mercia, underneath King Haraldson of England. We watched from afar as the Anglo-Saxon king fended off challenges from Norway, which no longer exists, and Normandy. We fought for our freedom. Well, we paid money for our freedom, for our crime of being a witch, descendant of the great wizard Merlin. And then we took up our rightful homes in various different bits of Wales. Today we'll be continuing on with the life of Duke Dizzy. He's only 35. He has quite a long time left in him. We're currently watching the English go through a fairly hefty civil war as, just have a look, as they struggle against Northumbria for their claim of, amusingly, Skuli Tostigson, who was once upon a time the court's jester of the English, although I notice he is now no longer. He was a court jester. He is now married to a court jester. I feel like this is potentially an excellent analogy for the modern political situation in England. That's by the by. We are currently sort of sitting here under quite a lot of occupation, if we're honest. And I might try and do something about unsieging some of these territories for mine, just because I don't really like it. I don't actually know if it harms our income for these territories to be occupied. Doesn't look like it does. Questions? Potentially questions for another time. If we just have a look at our situation, we have our vassal and soulmate, who is an excommunicated adulterer, our former spy master. We could imprison her if we wanted to, but we're not going to do that. Other than that, I have a wife. She has variously been happy and unhappy with me. I've been unfaithful. I had concubines back when the Welsh culture was allowed to have concubines. But we've sort of made things up. I've showed kindness to her. We're currently friends, and we have a very good working relationship. The new King of England, after the death of Haraldson, is King Magnus Haraldson, also a friend of mine. And I don't think he's particularly likely to throw me in prison the way his father did. His father? Yes, his father. So we're looking at potentially a much more prosperous relationship with England. But that could all go to pot if the Northumbrians win their claim. Now, despite having occupied quite a huge territory, they are technically losing this war. I'm not entirely certain how. There's not going to be really any ticking war score because the war score is the war target is the whole country. And then meanwhile, culturally, so we've got this new fancy culture system from the update that came out simultaneously with Royal Court. It's very nice. So as a Welshman, we are refined poets, we have longbows, we have Highland warriors. Welsh culture doing middlingly well, I think, honestly. You know, Wales is still Welsh, and we've almost by accident Welshified this place. We're mostly working... Oops, that didn't do what I expected it to do. We're mostly working on trying to get the the Saxons to actually kind of accept us. Now Merlin, who is our presumably ancestor, famously advisor to King Arthur, the last sort of true king of the Britons, who defended against the invasion of the Saxons. As you can see, he was remarkably unsuccessful in that in the long term. We have to sort of figure out what it is we, as the descendants of Magnus, are doing with our time. Economically, in the short term, that's going to be moving our capital over here to Carmarthen. Possibly only after we've grabbed the relevant duchy, I'm not so sure yet. Currently, let's see, we've got 0.89 tax, 300 levies from here, compared to our current capital, which is Welsh in culture, is giving us a lot more tax, but slightly fewer levies. I'm thinking if we sort of... the other problem is, of course, this county here is a two-slotter. It's never going to be as maximally productive as if we sort of bulk out Leicester, plop in a church, and then plop in another castle. It has more potential here. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is we want to do with capital cities just yet. In terms of development, Leicestershire is also more developed, which is something we may wish to work on. Our councillor is currently promoting cultural acceptance. If I go to the culture map, honestly, our chancellor's not doing an awful amount towards that. Like, he's not a big part of that cultural acceptance change, so it's probably worth pulling him off that. I could pump development into Carmarthen down here. Does it fairly quickly. 3 months to get +1 development. That's not bad. Okay. You know what? We are doing this. We are claiming our home to be in Caerphilly. Caerphilly is what it's called at the moment, but that's modern day Carmarthen. Merlin, possibly from the root word of Carmarthen, the Marden bit, may have some relation. From what I understand, that's not like a given either way. And we can start building some more buildings. We can't because we're poor. Okay, we're going to have to wait about a month. That's fine because we can set... Okay, we've got factions. So, my vassal, Lord Cadogan... Right, hang on. Okay, we've got quite a few factions all of a sudden. Lord Cadogan of Merioneth, this guy. So our most recent conquest was this duchy up here in the north of Wales. He wants to put himself on the Gwyneth throne. Apparently you have a claim. And Lord Meredith has created a faction to put himself on the Gwyneth throne. Because he also have a claim. We definitely can't imprison either of them. Do we think either of these factions is likely to be a big deal? In terms of troop numbers, there's some way towards getting it. But I'm not expecting any other vassals to get on board. Because, you know, like I'm not going to have too many Welsh vassals, I should assume. And... you know, I am myself Welsh, so it's not like my Welsh vassals should inherently dislike me. I think it's mostly to do with the fact that, you know, it's just they have claims. I could see how likely it is to befriend them. Oh, 6%. Doesn't like me. Shy dislikes gregarious. That's a huge penalty. So yeah, I have a 91% chance of befriending this guy and just ending his faction straight away. So I think that's worth our time. And I am now the head of the Welsh culture, so I control the most Welsh territories, which is excellent news, because that means that I can direct our innovations. So these are techs, and let's have a look at what we're currently researching. Our current fascination is horseshoes, which gives us movement speed, which is solid to have, but isn't sort of spectacular anyway. We already have mangonels. We already have burrs. Those are super duper useful techs. Chronicle writing is useful for Casus Belli, which I don't think we're going to need too much of. Royal prerogative can be very useful, but the last time I increased my crown authority, it was pushed down almost instantly by a Liberty faction. And I can't get it again for another. I can't make it go up again for another 6 years. Naval speed, not too fussed by. And I don't think I'm particularly close to the maximum existing development penalty. Although, actually, if we develop as fast as it looks like we developed, then that could change. And armored horsemen, I think, are less useful for me because I believe that we have a smaller heavy cavalry regiments, so that's not super duper useful to us. Battlements might be at some point. Let's stick battlements on, because it decreases our men at arms maintenance and lets us do more economic development of our territory. I suspect, sort of in the early years, that's going to be what we'll be looking to do. Now Fluff has come of age. And we had her matrimony married off to this guy, not because there's anything good about the alliance that we'll get from him. I don't think we get an alliance from him at all, but because he's a decent commander, and he has this siege trait, which is always useful to have. So we want him in our court. Oops, can we have him stay up, please? There we go. So he's now my courtier, and he'll probably be sticking around. So that's excellent news. Do I want to try and help unsee some of these territories? It's quite expensive to have my army raised, and it doesn't look like... so the low county control happens when I'm being sieged down. The other thing I want to do is look at the elections going on. So as you can see, I have a vote because I think I may have a voting power of 2. Ducal dignity, don't know what that does. And I'm an influential vassal. Oh yeah, so I have a voting strength of 3. And I could vote for myself, but at the moment the strongest candidate has 6 votes, not including mine. So the best I can do is take one of these people who already have 3 votes and make them tied. And I believe the king himself gets the tie break, so it wouldn't really help me to be voting for anyone else. And as it is, I don't want Northumbria in charge because they're quite strong. This guy would be okay. And in fact, I'm not honestly super duper sure. You're also from House Gordon. I was about to say, I don't know why the current king isn't voting for him. He's not voting for him because this guy's also from the same dynasty. But I do expect this guy will probably die before the current king, as he's some 20 years older. And he looks some 20 years older than that, let's be honest. So I'm assuming at some point my vote will change. Defender of the Faith. There was a question on the children today. Okay, so in terms of children, I had one sickly son with my wife who died very young. I had a daughter with my concubine when I was allowed to have concubines. I have another son with my wife who is grown up to be pretty okay. He is zealous, apparently, which is nice. Although he does have a sin on him, which isn't so great. And then I have this son with my lover and soulmate, the Countess of Staffordshire. And he's currently my ward cared for at court. And I believe I actually have a sneaky another son. I think this one is technically mine. He is currently in prison. He must have been taken prisoner by. Yeah, this guy. He's at war at the moment. So that's not looking so great. Meanwhile, Senwolf was attempting to preach among his fellow youngsters and became the target of a small fight. Waltheof was furious that anyone could target someone attempting to speak on behalf of Christ and chased away the other children. So Waltheof. So Senwolf is this random kid. So this is my court tutor in court position and former concubine. So this is her child with her current husband, Med, who I brought in because he had good prowess. Waltheof was furious that anyone could target someone attempting to speak on behalf of Christ and chased away the other children. So I can give him Zealous, which is probably fairly good. I could instead give him Brave, which will make him a better knight. I don't know if he'd be likely to come to my court as a knight. He might stay at his mother's court as a knight. Or I could give him Calm. What does Zealous give you? It's not actually that great. But it would get you Excellent Martial. Your Martial is currently your strongest suit compared to your prowess. What does Brave give you? Brave also gives you +2 Martial. We'll give you Brave. It'll stress us out a little bit. A lot of our reign has been dealing with various stressful things happening. Meanwhile, it looks like the King of England is coming down to help unsiege some of our territories, which is lovely. He has to avoid direct confrontations because he has by far and away the smaller army at the moment. Although that being said, if these guys keep starving themselves, then that might not be the case forever. Goodwill. Promise of dedication would send a strong message about my good intentions towards Lord Cadogan. Anyone appreciates a favour, so I could give him a hook on me. The problem with giving hooks to your vassals is they then use them. So I'm going to just take the loss of progress. I don't think this is a particularly time-sensitive friend scheme, although you do have another guy on your faction. You don't like me because you're also a title claimant. Lots of people in Wales, as it turned out, had claims on bits of Wales. I also have a short reign penalty. Is that... Yeah, so that only applies to the people in Wales who I've been reigning over for a short time. Okay, that's alright. You're a competent enough spy master, Mr. Mayor. So I'm happy to have you on board. My wife is dressed... she's ill, so she's dressed in being ill clothes. I see. Oh no, what's my wife ill with? She's just ill with being ill. And she's had a bad treatment from my physician. Gosh darn it. Well, this army, you can see, is labelled as hostile. I'm not directly at war with them. So they're not an enemy army, which is why they're orange. But if I were to pop some troops up, and we came into the same space, we would still fight. So I absolutely, definitely want to avoid that. And when I was conquering this northern bit of Wales, it was a little bit sketchy when I was raising my army of, is this going to provoke Northumbria to come and take their huge stack and just wipe out my tiny little one? Yes, my son will go and visit his peers. That's always good news. Our family is quite good, I think, at the moment. Like, I enjoy having just the one son. I have a backup son, but I don't seem to have a way to sort of legitimize him. I don't know how that works. I could also have him learn a language. Do you speak Saxon? I actually want someone who speaks Anglic. Is there a way to see what languages people speak? Doesn't seem like it, does it? Okay. Doesn't seem like I can have my son learn Anglic. Anglic is the, I believe, the language of my king's court. If I go to my king, I can click on this new little tab up here to go to my liege's court. This is from the new expansion. You can mess around in photo mode and get different views. You can see all of the various different artifacts that he's got going on. So he's got a bit of the True Cross. He currently has 2 Excaliburs, which is impressive. Now the thing about Excalibur is if we are the descendants of Merlin, we're wrapped up in this Arthurian legend business. We might want to think about getting our hands on an Excalibur at some point. You know, if we can find someone who we can set out to be the true non-Saxon King of England, give them an Excalibur, it might be in our favour. We can look at court grandeur. The English court is currently the 5th best in the world, after the 2 big empires, the Pagan Kingdom, which I'm assuming is somewhere very far over to the east, and Poland. So this is something we can't do yet. You only have your own court once you get to king level, and we're not there yet. Right, it looks like our friend England is has successfully avoided that conflict, which is good. There's a small stack there that's just going to be eaten. Oh, the small stack managed to avoid it. Now we have the ability to jump in and be like, I want to join your war. But you know, like, we do like this guy a lot more than we like the guy who'll be coming in. But having a king we're not friends with might have its own benefits, in that, you know, so we've got this, we've got a pardon now for our witchcraft, so I don't think we're at particular risk of being locked up or having our titles revoked. But because we're friends with this guy, you know, he's less likely to move against us, but equally, there are certain moves that we can't take against him. So, for example, there are all these factions against him. There might at some point be Liberty factions against him as well, and we can't join them if we want him to lower his crown authority, for example. We are gaining some opinion with this guy, which is good news. I wonder, actually, if I go to my Liege's court, where is it? There you are. I'll be able to petition him again in a year and a half, give or take. I have 2,300 troops. He has about 4,000. So together we are about an even match for these two stacks. There is also Cornwall involved here. Cornwall is fighting its own battle though. Right, so we did not succeed in forming an actual friendship with this guy, we just came closer to being friends with him, which is a shame. What language do you speak? I guess I already speak the same language as you. We could try and convert him to witchcraft, but that's apparently going to super duper fail. But we've made him like us more, which is okay. This guy's the current faction leader. Can we befriend you? Yes, we absolutely can. That's good news. So friends can't work against you in factions, which is why I can't join factions against the current King of England. This guy, my son and heir, he had a tutor who was teaching him in the ways of stewardship, and she has just died. So we need to go and find somebody else to teach him about stewardship. And how I do that is I tend to farm it out, and I say, so show me all people who are within diplomatic range, i.e. people I can actually contact, then just find me the ones with good stewardship. Guests of people can't take on wards, I believe. Courtiers can. So if I send you my ward, that'll be good news. The other thing I want to do is I want to look at my culture, Welsh. So I could, as the culture leader, I can actually spend my prestige on adding things to the Welsh culture. It takes an awful lot of prestige to do this, but I can. And there's, oh my god, there are a lot of options available to me. Oh boy. Wow. Bound by Faith is an interesting one. By the sword, no limit to the number of king-level holy walls can be declared by any one ruler. All cast a spell either require a specific level of devotion, require one less. But we get -1 diplomacy per level of devotion, and +1 martial per level of devotion. Ooh, that would be interesting, certainly. So we used to have this. And I don't know why we lost it. I assume that was something to do with the previous head of Welsh culture who I usurped. Now, I don't know, does it cost more to replace? It costs even more prestige to replace an existing tradition with a new one. Okay. So this Conqueror's one. There doesn't seem to be a real downside to it, so I don't know why we lost it. Blindings. Merciful blindings, okay. So some of these are just like flat out good. So this one's like herbalist trait more often, additional bonuses to herbalists, and more hostile scheme success chance. Some of them, as you can see, like with this by the swords, it has upsides, and it also has significant downsides sometimes in terms of the piety, the different faith opinion, and the diplomacy loss. There's a lot here, and I don't think I can afford any of it. Have a quick flick through just to scroll to see what I could afford. So there are a few 2,000 cost ones. Like, we can get better coast territories. Which is okay, I mean, you know, we do live on an island. Spartan, less prestige, but we build buildings faster. Did I check any of these, see if they were £2 on cost? No. This is a regional one because we rule, I suppose, in Britain, which just gives us an access to a new succession law and a little bit of bonus prestige, which is okay, honestly. Warfare Forest Fighters is kind of nice. All of these, you know, like specialized warrior ones, they tend to be fairly decent. What's the difference between mountaineers and Highland warriors? Oh, so this is more about hills, whereas this one does mountains. Okay, I see. Right, I hadn't quite realized that they were that distinct. Winter warriors. The Winter Soldier is Bucky Barnes. We can recruit him. Astute diplomats, counterattack allies, and counterattack through a truce, which is fairly okay because honestly we don't do that anyway. We get better alliance negotiations, better white peace acceptance, and better language learning. That's actually pretty fantastic. The language learning is pretty good. The penalties I don't really care about. The alliance negotiation acceptance actually might only be for that one diplomacy perk, so that might be less useful. White peace can be very good sometimes. Units, if we want to go around chopping bits off of people. The forestry line of buildings have additional bonuses. Hill dwellers, hill farms buildings have additional bonuses. Isolationists. So isolationists means that we're unlikely to arrange marriages outside of our own culture, and it makes other cultures accept us less. So we probably don't want that, at least for now. We're trying to work on getting the Anglo-Saxons to actually not persecute us. Would be really good. Mercantilism is pretty good. Yeah, so a bunch of these are fairly good. Even the ones that aren't super duper expensive. My wife is no longer ill, which is excellent news. My son is going to get an education. You're back to wearing proper clothes. I wonder what's going on in Denmark. Denmark is having an internal war. Oh, I've lost a level of devotion. I'm not sure what I've lost a level of devotion for, though. Normally that comes part and parcel with an event of some kind. I genuinely don't know what just happened there. I just lost one. Is that something that happens for being a witch? Oh, we have an Anraka in the chat. Hello, Anraka. You join us as the Duchy of Gwyneth. The Earl of Westmoreland has died. We get an alliance with the new Westmoreland. Ah! Right, so I don't need to host a feast. I was working on this guy in Champagne, trying to get him to join us as allies. No, he's not going to accept still. That's a real shame. Can I try and learn his language? I could try and learn his language. Dial Vulgar. Don't think it would help that much. Because our cultural acceptance penalty is already not that bad. I can't try again against my... I can try again against my wife. Is my... Yes, okay, right. Okay, that's why I've lost the level of devotion, it's because you're pregnant again. It's really early. School is just starting today. We were learning about how if the British never gave colonists taxes, they would have America in their clutches. I mean, I suspect that we wouldn't have America as a colony at the moment anyway, seeing as we did go through the whole decolonialization thing after the World Wars. That's why we don't control half of Africa and a fair chunk of the Pacific anymore. I also don't think American independence was entirely just about taxes, although I will admit to not being an expert. But America has always had a bit of a funny attitude towards taxation. Well, I didn't really mean to do that, but that's okay. I can get it back. Oh, I've got low control encounters. Are you working on control at the moment? Yes, okay. I've got lots of places with low control. That's fine. New acquisitions. During the daily management of my realm, I've learned of several different opportunities I can pursue. Each one has potential, but I can only pursue one. Ooh, okay, so this is something that's changed. So before, this just kind of gave me like a small stewardship buff. But I could instead get my first artifact. I've got about 50-50 of it being very good or uninteresting. Anaraka says, I think it was also because the king saw the Native Americans as peaceful people, so colonists couldn't take their land and hunt their animals. I mean, without wishing to get too overtly political, the whole Manifest Destiny thing, America does really enjoy taking land and hunting animals off of other people. I would honestly be surprised, given what I know of British aristocracy, if they were particularly nice towards Native Americans themselves, but like I say, not my area of expertise. And maybe I'm just a cynical old git who doesn't want to think good of anyone. I could get the money, but I'm tempted to go and grab this artifact. Let's explore the artifact system. I gain a very good book artifact, and I gain a tutorial on my inventory. I've acquired my first inventory artifact. They are carried on my person and provide various benefits. Let's open my inventory now. So it's this little knapsack. In my inventory, I can equip inventory artifacts in order to gain various benefits, such as increasing a skill or increasing my prestige. I can also repair or reforge inventory artifacts, which will restore their durability and prevent them from being destroyed as time goes on. I can also see which artifact claims that I have and try and take those artifacts for myself. So I have Duke Dizzy's Veins of Trade. This is the book I've just got. Gives me a little bit extra prestige and a little bit extra stewardship lifestyle experience. It's better than not having it. But it's not sort of amazing and gonna win me the game all on its own. Okay, and they come in different types, based on the different slots they carry, and I have no claims. And I don't have an antiquarian, so I can't commission anything. But I might want to look at getting an antiquarian, because it means that my artifacts last longer. And they're not that expensive. And they all have terrible aptitude. Well, okay, that's not true. As terrible is actually a category. They don't all have terrible, but they all have bad aptitude. But Imed has a good learning and good stewardship. I'm assuming it's some combination of those stats. Actually, see, I think that's kind of an okay learning skill, so I'm surprised you have bad attitude. I'm sorry, I'm surprised you have poor aptitude. Okay, Imed, you can. I can't appoint you for some reason. Right. Why can I not? Is it because I was in the tutorial? Okay, we'll appoint Imed as my antiquarian. I don't think there's a search for antiquarian, is there? No. I could commission an artifact. Costs 100 gold, which actually isn't that bad. I can also spend gold to get a new commander, which is... This is definitely the cheapest way to get a new commander, isn't it? Okay, seeing as we've got an antiquarian, let's try commissioning an artifact. I can choose what type of artifact it's going to be. Weapon, crown, armor, regalia. I can't choose a book because I don't have a royal court, so that's okay. Let's grab an armor, something to make us more survivable. You'll not regret supporting me, my lord. My beneficiary Theodwyn assures me he will create a masterpiece. He assures me he will create a masterpiece. But he does say that my input is valued. Please tell me, what type of armor do I desire? Chainmail is not flashy but dependable. Or scale armor is good protection but less flexible. And lamella is great protection to a great price. Let's go with chainmail. Right. This insane Ravna lunatic guy. I'm not sure I trust him to make me armor that doesn't just have, like, spikes on the inside. But okay, we're gonna go with it, apparently. Carmarthen, I want you to have walls and towers so that you're more difficult to siege down for any enemies. Right, England, not doing so hot in this war, as to be expected. But honestly, they've avoided any battles at all, which I think is doing well for them. I also have powerful vassals who are upset with me. Oh, you're really upset. Ah, you're upset because you're now a powerful vassal. You weren't before. Still have a 100% success chance, so that's okay. Yes, okay, we've got a new son. I wish I could celebrate the birth of our son, but Countess Margaret has made it clear the babe will not be considered a true member of her house. The brand never washes off completely, though the acknowledgements for Countess would surely have helped. Oh dear, my son. I can find you a spouse. Which might get me some alliance power. Aquitaine, I think, is already my ally. East Anglia? So you're the potential next king. You're not a bad ally to have on side. You also have decent enough troops and you're close by. Yeah, sure. Thou shalt be East Anglia. Is he now going to invite me into this war, though? He is. Oh, actually, are you the war leader? You're not the war leader, so that's okay. You can't invite me in. A friend, kindred minds. Right, I'm now friends with this guy. Hopefully that should also disband his faction. Maybe? Hello? Disband your faction, please? Oh, it's not my friend. Oh, we're not actually friends, we're just closer to being friends. Gosh darn it. Okay, we'll make you Chancellor, as it'll make you more happy. Yes, I forget that the scheme can sort of technically succeed, but you don't actually become friends. I can declare war on Powys. That's for somebody else's claims. So this is this guy, or Lord Meredith. I definitely don't want you to be more powerful, seeing as you're in a faction against me. Or Lord Idwal. You're also currently in a faction against me. What can we do about you, huh? We can't really befriend you. And assuming we won't be able to do that, no. We may just have to sway you. We've got a good chance of swaying you, that's good. Because failing at swaying gives us bad things. Gives us stress. Inspiration. Fellow connoisseur, my vassal, Reeve Ethelbert, accosts me. Well met, liege. I've heard tell of your patronage of Theodwyn the Armourer, who says making male worthy of a duke. I hope so. I am a duke. Take this and give it to him. I wouldn't want to miss the chance to aid in the creation of a masterpiece. Poor Ethelbert must have more money than he knows what to do with. So who's this guy? He's a baron underneath my vassal. Huh. He's very distantly related to him. I could steal it. I could tell him to gain opinion and make my armor likely less. But honestly, I'd much rather... Like, yeah, you're giving up money either way. Let's give it to the guy and get better armor. Doesn't cost me anything. Yeah. I'm not suspecting this is going to go too well for old King. I can host a feast, I'm not gonna. This is going to be a real back and forth war, but luckily, it looks like it might be moving further south, so that it's going to be not back and forthing over my territory and getting rid of all of my control in my lands. And my son can go and see more people, which is lovely. Do I have 2 wards at the moment? I don't, so I can actually offer to take this kid as my ward. And she will accept, because I'm her liege and it's my child. And because she really likes me. Excellent news. I can hear my beneficiary, Theodwyn, muttering to himself from across the hall. I need something great, something epic to make my creation stand out from the uninspired masses. But what? When his spirited eyes meet mine, he breaks out into a huge smile and waves to me. My lord, what an amazing idea! Just perfect! What do you think of adding your family's motto to your commission? Now, my family's motto is, you can take our lives, but you can never take our trousers. So, if this is going to be a chainmail skirt, then that sounds like an excellent idea. I can gain piety or I can gain renown. I'd much rather gain the renown, to be honest. Oh, we can even get a legacy off the back of that. Okay, so we have a new dynasty legacy tree up top here, which is customs. This is all stuff I think to do with the new culture system. Yes, so learning more languages and better at them. Learn another language and better cultural acceptance. Better cultural fascination progress, which is really good. Gain a weak hook when landing a new vassal of a different culture in land of their culture. Okay. Cultural acceptance gain 20%, unlocks cultural emissary court position. And side by side unlocks the celebrate other cultures decision, which gives development, control, building costs, defensive advantage. In counties from a different culture with a cultural acceptance 75% plus. Will be fun. So that's pretty good as a tree. is it where we want to be going? Are we going for cultural acceptance, or are we going for finding a Breton king and overthrowing these Saxons? I think so, to some degree, learning to live in peace and harmony is going to be good. So let's go down this. Let's grab this customs first. First thing makes us better at learning languages. Oh, inspiration products. Come down here. Okay, that's cool. I suppose the other thing we want to do is there a way to search through the cultures? Brythonic. Can I search for other Brythonic cultures somehow? Open encyclopedia. Brythonic. No, it doesn't like it, does it? Welsh? No, okay. If I try and find a character, culture. Oh, okay, so I can find all characters with Brythonic heritage. So there's Bretons, Cumbrians, Welsh. Is that it? Breton, Cumbrian, and Welsh? Cornish as well. So is Breton meaning in Brittany? Yes, Breton's meaning Brittany in this case. Okay. Yeah, we gotta think. What culture is our future king of England who we're gonna help in a Merlin style fashion? What culture are they actually going to be from? Are they going to be Welsh? I'm not seeing what I might call a Briton option, which is sort of what I was expecting to see. I don't know if that's because there isn't one, or if that's just because of my sort of ignorance as to what happened to those cultures after the Saxon takeover of England. Blue Crowns. Hi there in chat, Blue Crowns. Welcome to you. I don't know if you've got one of these streams before, but on the assumption that you haven't, we're playing Crusader Kings 3 with the new Royal Court expansion. I am playing a custom Merlin-based dynasty operating out of Wales, currently under the yoke of the English king, although the yoke is a bit of a misnomer at the moment, because cultural acceptance is fairly high, and the current king of England is my friend. But the current King of England is also not going to be the King of England for very long, because he's being overthrown as we speak. I've just been looking through the various cultures to see and find sort of what natural cultural allies do I have as a Welshman living under the Saxons. England does have 2, I believe, Excaliburs at the moment. And I feel like if we're going to plot, let's see, there's 1 Excalibur. There's 2 Excaliburs. I feel like if we're going to plot to one day replace the Saxon king with a native, we should probably have at least one of those Excaliburs on our side at some point. Apparently, there's a thing with the Royal Court expansion in its present state that it generates a huge number of Excaliburs. I don't exactly know why. You've heard that Normandy can create English culture in the DLC. I imagine that's true. We actually live in a surprising alternate timeline where the British King Haraldson fended off quite handily, actually, both the Norwegian invasion and the Norman invasion. which is leaving Normandy, no, not weak, but like nothing particularly special sat down here. Doesn't even have any claims on England anymore. And it's leaving what I was expecting to be quite a content bunch of Saxon dukes. But there have just been faction after faction. That's against me. Faction after faction, trying to put different people on the throne of England. So it looks like this island is not going to be a quiet place, certainly. Well, we're currently in the wealth focus because we're looking to sort of try and up our development a little bit. And I might, once I've got another couple of perks, I might switch to a learning focus specifically for development. Oh, we're still building here, actually. What claims do I have? Serdigan. What's that part of? Duchy? It's part of Gwyneth, apparently. Child returned, that's fine. Oh, we also have this guy who has a claim on this, so don't care for particularly. This guy also has a claim on the whole thing, or has just a claim on this bit, which I don't care for either. You assume I wish to become England. I definitely want to become King of Wales, I think at some point would be ideal. I don't know, actually, if I'm going to aim for Kingship of England for myself. Playing as the Merlin dynasty, Merlin was never the guy to go for the crown. So I've actually been looking around to see are there cultures which could one day give rise to a King of England who will not be me or my dynasty, but will be someone I can at least support. I think that might be a slightly more interesting way to play. But certainly in the long run, where is it? Decisions. Reclaim Britannia. If I were to look for like a long-term goal, it would definitely be nice to have the Empire title and take this decision. Grab the Pendragon nickname, either for myself or again for a different Emperor of Britannia who I can swear fealty to. My friend and wife stops me in the hall with a smile. She's just spoken to Theodwin. She's heard he's making mail for me and couldn't resist a visit. I talked to him about how to meet your expectations. I think you'll like the results. I think you'll like the results, she says. Has happened. The artifact might be of a slightly lower quality. Thanks. Thanks a bunch, dear. How wonderful of you. I also noticed there's some Norse culture down here. There's this little Earl Merchant, Norse guy in Ireland. Edgar is telling me a secret of his. Thank you very much. I probably won't need to use that for blackmail. Emphasis, probably. Inspiration realized. My lord. Theodin waves me over to a covered armor stand. He's trying hard to keep a professional demeanor, but I can see the fire in his eyes as he tells me his work is done. With a flourish, he rips the fabric covering away, and my eyes grow wide. While the chain links do not offer room for decoration... Oh, I can't just click on it. The fine work on the riveting sets this piece apart from common mail. The set includes a spangenhelm and an aventail. A hat and a tail. I don't know why it includes a tail. I know Merlin traditionally can transform into animals, so maybe that's why. Anyway, the whole armor has been plated with a thick layer of gold. I've got fine, shiny mail that gives me plus prowess and plus prestige and fewer friendly casualties. I think that's fairly nice. I'm quite happy with that. It says, the motto of the Merlin family, you can take our lives but you can never take our trousers, is elegantly inscribed on one side. How on earth do you inscribe on mail? That sounds like a real pain. Masterful. Magnificent, even. Are you still hanging around my court now? Yes, you are. Okay. So we might be able to marry some people off to bring in new talent, which would be good. But first, I want to go to my inventory, put on this suit of shiny mail. I could even go to the barber shop and see if there's some male clothes. Oh, I'm looking a little big in some of these. I don't know if that's just because I'm broad-shouldered. Also, that is terrible looking armor. Yes, let's grab some northern armor. I think that looks nice. Wait, was I able to change that more thoroughly? No, that's my hair color, never mind. Okay, we've got some nice armor. One of the other things I forgot to introduce at the very start was I have fiddled about with the color changer a little bit to make Gwyneth stand out slightly more from the more red kind of territories around me. So I'm actually this kind of light. It looks pink in the color selector. I'm not necessarily sure exactly what color I'd call it on the actual map screen. But there we go. So we stand out a little bit more. Wales has a lovely dark color on the map. So we'll probably be sticking with that if and when we get the Welsh crown. In the meantime, shall we keep moving on? Let's keep moving on. Morning comes of age. I'm proud to see my son, no longer as a child, but an adult. With sufficient tutelage, even a child has displayed little natural inclination towards the administration. He comes to truly understand it. He's got a 3-star education, which is fantastic. They grow up so fast. You as a... Alliance prospect. Well, you're okay. You've got 1,400 troops. It's just some random count up here, but he's okay. I haven't been able to secure kind of some of the amazing, fantastic marriages for some of my children that I maybe would have liked, but, you know. Yeah, we want to potentially go... How long have we got left on building here? Well, this is going to take a while, isn't it? 16 months. Could start building in Penthrow. We definitely want the archer damage, because we have good archers. And I can petition my liege. He's not going to be my liege for very long, so I'm not sure there's going to be a lot that's worthwhile that he can try and... I can try and petition for. So I could ask for fortified borders, which I can't do because he's in debt. I could ask for this. I don't know why it shows this as an option if it's not actually an option, but there we go. It might be worth waiting until the new liege is in place. Not least because if I ask him to help me increase controlling counties, and then all those counties just get sieged down again, it might not really help. Fluff has given birth to a daughter. That's very nice. I should give her a good name. Welsh name. Ellen Prost? Prawns. Very Welsh. Not at all Australian. Marvellous. I can actually marry you off 4 alliances. I'm glad you approve in the chat. Honestly, you're far enough down the line, but I'm not necessarily fast about marrying you matrilineally. You're extremely old. Like, extremely old. Like, way too old to be being betrothed to a 0-year-old. In fact, all of you are, really. So we'll maybe leave betrothing you for a while. Well, I suppose as an alternative option... No, I definitely don't want to do that. Oh, I was going to look at my court and see if I have courtiers who I can marry... Looks like you. Yeah, you'd be on the recipient side. Yeah, don't want that. See if I have courtiers who I can marry off to bring in new talent. So you might be able to find a spouse. Some of all skills. I'm tempted to say, can we find you another lunatic? Although there's something appealing to me about the idea of marrying the lunatic off to the physician and seeing what crazy Frankenstein experiments come out of that. Could marry off to someone who's fecund, but she's a little old. Even with fecund, she might not be producing children. All I want is people in my court. Darn it. Punch-in? Sure. You're married. You're married. You're my daughter. Senulf Aethelson. Who's this? Oh, this is your child. Some of my summer skills. He's not too much older than you. This one might be good. My son, the player heir, Wolfhard, you're married. Okay, that's all of our court at the moment. What are our prisons looking like? People have been in the dungeons for 3 years. I can move you to house arrest, which makes people from this house like me more. Is there anyone that I care about in this house? Actually, there are. Sure, you can move to house arrest. You're from a dynasty that I didn't know existed that has an extremely similar banner to mine. With 2 people in it. 20 men are impious with spear in hand. There are 3 living people from this dynasty, none of whom are married. None of whom are married. I suspect that dynasty might be dying out fairly soon. And then Meredith Lane. House Lane, do I care about you at all? You are literally the only person in your dynasty, so no one will care if you stay in the dungeon. Do I want to go for another bit of the Deheubarth Duchy and claim this duchy title as my own? Don't think I do, not for now. Send my son off to Hobnob. I assume this is sort of helping him grow nice to people, or at least develop some kind of relationship with people. Wet with Tears. Oh my god, okay. So I just sent him off. I just sent him off to this guy. This guy is wounded, and Waltheoff has drowned. Oh my god. I hope he will be playing in heaven. Or innocence is a fatal poison. Or I wish the same fate on him. Oh my god. Basically, I can forgive him, I can shame him, or we can hate each other. Oh my god, you're just a 6-year-old boy. Like, I assume it sort of wasn't really your fault, right? You don't have like yeah, you don't have a kill, so you didn't kill him, to my knowledge. Oh my god. I mean, I gotta forgive the 6-year-old kid. Am I a forgiving person? Jesus. I hope he will be playing in heaven. Oh my god. I no longer have an alliance with Normandy either. Oh, I gained double stress. I gained 39 stress for the event, and I gained 26 stress for outliving a child. Wonderful. Oh my god. Well, that could have gone better. Why are you still in a faction against me? Let me stop at you. I can't befriend you. I could do that, which probably isn't a great thing. I might even be able to convert you to witchcraft, potentially. Okay, actually, having successfully swayed you, I want to sway this guy a bit more. Because I think I have the best chance of getting him out of the faction. That's the strongest faction against me. How's England doing? England is holding on. This war might end in a white peace, honestly. Unfortunately, I can't see how close either side is to accepting a white peace, which is sad. It doesn't look like they're going to be sieging any more of my territory in the near future, so I'm gonna petition you. I'm escorted to his throne where he beckons me to approach. He sits in silence for several minutes as he nods my petition over. You make some good arguments, but if I'm to agree to your request, I will need something in return. Surely you can see how it benefits us both if we come to an arrangement. Blue Crown's in the chat, while we're still paused. Blue Crowns asks, am I able to attack Scotland/Alba as a vassal? The answer is yes, I absolutely am, if I can find a cause for war. It's kind of a little bit of a slightly, I don't want to call it broken, because I'm assuming it exists for kind of historical reasons, but, you know, I as a tiny little vassal can reach out and ping off little bits of other people with relative impunity, and other people can't invade me back. They have to invade the whole thing that is England. And, you know, when it's just England, and especially when England's in the middle of a big old civil war, that's not the biggest protection. But, you know, if I as a tiny little count in the Byzantine Empire, have been able to eat off, let's say, the foot of Sicily here, or the foot of Italy down here, rather, and, you know, no one can do anything about it. It feels very powerful. I've also got a stewardship perk. Let's go back to this petition. Right, so he wants to come to an arrangement. So I can give him money, and then he'll gain opinion of me, and I'll get some control back in exchange for both of us getting renown. Not sure that's super duper worth it. Perhaps I explained it poorly. I can spend more prestige to try and press my case. He asks for the counsel of his bishop. I could do a martial challenge against him. It says, I know just the thing to trip Ethelric up. What on earth is my martial challenge going to be if I win? We'll give it a go. Well, he's unconvinced. But at least no one really lost opinion of me. I gave it a good old go. I spent some prestige, it's okay. I have slow control everywhere. My guy can't bring up control faster than it's going down from this civil war. Gosh darn it, guys. How does the Pope feel about me? The Pope is -5 about me, which, honestly, considering I'm both a sinner and a witch and an adulterer, it could be a lot worse. Oh, England is now seriously losing. Yeah, they had a big old battle that they lost. They finally managed to get caught by the big Northumbrian stack. And it's pretty much over now. So, we're going to have a new king. Gulp. How close is our... So our heir is of age, and he's married. We've finished one control task, which is excellent news. Where else have I got low control? Lordship of Lancashire, Derby, Leicestershire, which is I probably can't work on, and Northamptonshire. Let's go for Leicestershire, or Lancaster rather. Lancashire. Words, what are they? We've got bastions of curtain walls built. What else do we want? I could get light cavalry. Know about how useful that is. But it also comes with tax and a few levies. Or I could just get lots of tax. Let's grab the farms and fields, shall we? Oh, I can preview to see. Okay, we'll grab hunting grounds. Derby is back under control. It's good I didn't send my guy there. And Prince Edmund of England has been excommunicated. Right, good. I wonder what he did. I don't feel like he did anything. You can get excommunicated for not doing very much in this game, honestly. Like, you just have too much negative opinion with the Pope and someone asks, he'll be like, yeah, sure, why not? He's a holy warrior and he got excommunicated. Ouch. And he's busy losing a horrible war. So because he's excommunicated, I could, if for some reason I wanted to... Oh, I was going to say I could declare an excommunication war against him. But maybe not. Maybe that's not a thing, or maybe that's only against independent rulers. Interestingly, of course, it does give me this screen. It just then doesn't give me anything to pick. Don't know what that's about. You're supposed to be able to declare war on someone who's excommunicated. Lord Cadogan holds lands that will be inherited by somebody. Oh my god. Oh my god. So Lord Cadogan's son has died at age 33, and it's not looking likely that he's going to have any others on account of his wife being 63. So the inheritor is going to be this guy. Which is a crying shame, honestly. I think even if I killed him... let's have a look. Belmont land. Lordship of Marianeth. Oh no, okay, so this guy's second in line. So if I were to murder you, hypothetically... I don't think I'm very good at murder. I'm not very good at murder. If I were to do it, then it would stay in my realm. That is, it looks like I'm going to lose it unless I can conquer this guy. Ah yes, this is bringing in a new courtier. Wonderful marriage. I could declare war on you. Meredith has a claim on that duchy, which I don't want to push. Well, you'll just have claims on the duchy, which isn't very useful. What I really need is a claim on the duchy myself. Which, I mean, I could engineer. I wasn't expecting to try and kind of conquer all of Wales just yet, to be honest. It'll take 4 years to grab a claim on it. I might get the duchy claim. The other consideration is how strong are you? The answer is extremely weak. We'll give it a go. Are you the duchy capital? Where's the duchy capital? It can only be one of these. There don't seem to be any duchy slots in that place, which is weird. Oh no, there's the. I was clicking on the wrong bit, that's fine. We've got some tents built. Don't know where. Oh, maybe over here. To my liege. He wants me to consider my claim for the Earldom of Bernicia. Where is the Earldom of Bernicia? It's not there. You want me to go to war with Northumbria? Are you mad? Actually, that being said, Northumbria has gone from having several thousand troops that they have on the field to only 1,600 at the moment. So presumably when this war ends, they're going to lose a bunch of this army. And they also don't currently have any allies, although I'm sure that will change. Yeah, I'll diplomacy handwave that away. For now, at least. Don't want to be getting involved in this war. It's a mess. It's a mess that England, marvellously, has somehow, get out of the way, has managed to recover from at least a little bit, even though the wife has been imprisoned. Fluff has given birth to a new daughter, Afrella. Sure, you can grow strong and wise, Afrella. You're only a year younger than your sister. Excuse me for a second, I need to actually... Oh my gosh, apologies. Just had a small coughing fit there, but I'm sure everything's fine. Yeah, we are being more and more occupied. We're going to be having, I'm guessing, more and more county control problems. It's not good. I'd really like this war to be over. It's just sort of back and forthing at the moment. Oh, House is at war. You're at war with this guy who's trying to take over the whole duchy. And he might be able to do it, honestly. No, I want to request a claim on the title. So possibly this guy being excommunicated might make me more likely to get a claim on him. Oh my god, I actually could get a claim on the Earldom of Dorset. Which is just one county, but still. Yeah, so that's one of the advantages of excommunication. I don't want to. I don't want to claim on the Earldom of Dorset, but I could get one if I wanted to. I think you're also excommunicated, aren't you? Yeah. Can I get a claim on you? I can also just imprison you and just revoke your title straight away, so I don't need to. I'm not going to do any of that because I like you. And you like me. Oh dear lord. I have failed a sway attempt, and that has given me critical stress. Which is always lovely. Let's call a hunt. We'll drop my stress by half and stop me from getting a mental break. Phew. We've built some places, and we would have had enough money to build new places, but then we spent it all. Hunt. Bounding through the plains, I'm gaining on a majestic stag I've been chasing for hours. Lord Idwal cries out in pain. He has fallen and is now clutching at his leg. I can tend to him, giving him opinion of me, and giving me plus learning, or I can lose his opinion I can lose opinion with him for prestige. I think definitely I'm trying to get up opinion with him. That's why I'm on this hunt, because I got stressed from failing. So let's definitely do that. And he's out of the faction. That's marvelous. Let's start swaying this guy then. You return home in disappointment. I didn't catch the stag, but I made friends with the guy, and really, that's more important. Now, the interesting thing about this war is I could help my liege out without, like, officially helping my liege out, because I'm fairly confident that I can... Who's this guy? Some old dude has decided he wants to be on my council. He'd be an okay spy master, but not as good as my current one. But my current one isn't powerful. So let's get you on side and make you happy. Sway, the good lord. While hosting lords and ladies from realms near and far, some opportunities to portray my vassal in a good light have presented themselves. Because I'm arrogant, if I talk myself up, I lose stress. Let's do that. Free stress relief is always good. Well, yeah, if I wanted to help my liege, I could, by sieging down some of these territories, which wouldn't get me like technically involved in the war, but would mean that it would get rid of the war score penalty to my liege for having them occupied. I don't think I could go and siege down Northumbrian counties to help them out. I'm not going to do that because at the moment I don't think it's worth the cost. And because I won't be able to get control back up in them for a while anyway, while my guy is working elsewhere. So I don't think it's worth the cost, and also I'm worried about having my army wiped out, sort of almost accidentally, by this big old stack here. Although I've lost a lot of troops from the low controlling counties. Someone is plotting to murder that guy. Oh, he's found a murder scheme against himself through his position as my spy master, which is excellent news. I could also put you on Find Secrets, but I don't feel like I need Find Secrets at the moment. There's a Liberty faction, which is good news, because I'd very much appreciate my liege having lower crown authority. And unfortunately I can't join the Liberty faction. I sort of assume that if the Liberty faction did actually manage to fire, he would probably just say yes straight off the bat. This war with Powys is going interestingly. So this is something I noticed when Aquitaine, who was my ally, broke up with France. They sort of declared war, and then they just kind of sort of sat in their capitals, both Aquitaine and Toulouse. They sort of sat in their capitals for ages, not doing anything. And it looks... Oh my god, I'm failing to destroy this guy as well now. It looks like these two are just sort of doing the same thing. Like, neither of them is convinced that they can attack the other, So having declared war, they're now just going to stand there and do nothing. Oh my god. My wife's just died. Yeah, they're just going to stand there and do nothing. And after many, many, many years, this war score will tick up all the way to 100%, with no battles having been fought and nothing of note having happened at all. Interesting, one of the things I noticed is I now can't go from this sort of pause because of an event to being actually properly paused while the event is up, which I find upsetting. I'm going to gain a little bit of stress because my wife died. My wife and friends died, no less. I suppose I have to get married. My alliance power. I don't really want someone who's going to give me more kids. It's part of the problem. Who is infertile and will give me alliance power. The Earldom of Difflin, which is over here in Ireland. The County of Ravensburg, which is 1,000,000 miles away. Neon is also fairly far away. They're all far away. Shall we marry Kiara and get an alliance with this person? I think that's sensible. You're stubborn, just like me. You are also sadistic, which is less good. That's probably okay. Perhaps what I should have done is now not allied with Aquitaine either. It's a shame. Aquitaine were a good ally to have. If I put you on just a Cicerula. Oh, okay, that's not enough. Right, it has to be managed to main. That's a shame. Meanwhile, Fluff is just having all of the children. Oh my gosh, she's having one a year at the moment. You shall be little matches. We shall strike you against something and you shall catch fire. May you grow strong and wise. I'll tell you what, I could actually educate one of my granddaughters. You have stewardship or learning. We don't know yet. Matches. You shall come and be educated by me. We might also see if we can get a new alliance. We can't get it. Oh, that's because I've still got the infertile toggle on. I can't get any matching alliances with you. But God, it's a real swing between the 8-year-old and the 72 and 67-year-olds, isn't it? Blimey. No, I don't honestly like... Oh, the Lordship of Innis Mon. I actually don't kind of hate. Although you are a hunchback. Oh, this is the guy who led to the drowning of my other son. Yeah, let's not. Huh? Just in case. I don't hold grudges, but let's not. This guy is a strong vassal of mine. 16 years is a little bit of an age gap. You know, we'll be fine for now. We'll be fine for now. Oh my gosh, the stab of rejection. Margaret and I have had our struggles. Her rejection came as a shock. While I cannot explain why, I never thought we'd end like this. How will I go on without her passion? We stopped being lovers. Oh no. It does sort of look like we are still lovers to me. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Maybe it's because okay, so she's cross with me because I got married to someone who wasn't her. I think. More development growth. And let's switch over to a development growth lifestyle, which is good. Yeah, she probably is upset with me that I didn't marry her. Maybe I should have married her. It's kind of a little bit late now. Well, actually, the Pope would accept. The Pope would accept, and I could keep my alliance by marrying off my granddaughter. Oh, I could go and be in love with my soulmate. Oh, gosh. Well, there's a thought. We're doing it. We're gonna do it. Oh, apparently, he's accepting this on the grounds of suspected adultery, and I feel like that's not her suspected adultery. Right, let's do this. Let's formalize this. It'll cause problems, I suppose. Love prevails. Oh, Duchess Margaret, my sunshine, to think that I can embrace you openly now. With the blessing of both St. Bridget and the people around us, I'm the happiest man alive. Come here, O wife of mine. Excellent. Right, what are these tutorials? Maximum perk bonus reached. Ah, okay, so... sound foundations. That's... I don't know what the perk is that I've reached the limit of. It's probably the friends one. Advice, form hybrid culture. I could now, if I wanted to, form a hybrid culture with the Saxons. The culture shown here is just one example of many. As long as the other culture has a different heritage than yours, you can form a hybrid. However, you must make sure you have at least one county of that culture in my realm, which I do, and that the culture acceptance of the two is high enough. I understand. So if I were to try and make a hybrid culture... Oh, I also need to spend prestige, right? So I could be bureaucratic instead. I'd have Brythonic heritage and speak Brythonic. The martial custom would be this. That's okay. The new culture will be created with me as head. Acceptance will be 100%. My close family will convert and all of my vassals will convert. Traditions. I'd keep all of the traditions from both, which is very powerful, blimey. And then aesthetics. We use names from both cultures. So this is very powerful. So like I get from Anglo-Saxon, I'd get herds, which does give me less cultural fascination, I suppose. Gives strong and hail more often. So maybe herds isn't that great. City keepers is pretty great. What an agmat is fairly decent. So I might lose herds. Aesthetics. I'm not thinking currently that there's a lot of need to do this. right now, and I'm not sure if hybridizing with... If I don't do this... If I don't do this... Presumably, somebody else could, right? Because presumably the head of the Anglo-Saxon culture could form this hybrid culture instead. Now there's something to think about. I also seem to have a knight problem. Don't know what was going on there. Oh, I probably, actually, given that I only have one heir at this point, I may want to stop my son from being a knight. That's okay. Decisions. We'll put it off for the time being. You don't have the prestige for it. Who's the guy who would be coming in? This is a tyranny war? I thought this was a war for someone's... Oh, maybe not. I thought this was a faction war. Okay, so who's the current heir of this guy? You probably would end up with the prestige to do it before you died. We'll leave it for now. We'll have it there as a thing to come back to. Oh, it's so powerful though. Do I want... Maybe this is how we get the new King Arthur. Maybe this is how we get the new King Arthur. We have a new guy who is of a hybrid culture, and this is the way we actually defeat the Saxons once and for all, is not by defeating them, but by partially joining with them. Oh my god, maybe that's it. And you know, it'll be mostly Welsh. We'll take the bureaucratic bit, and we'll take not herds, but everything else from Anglo-Saxons. We'll keep we'll take their bureaucratic culture. Our style will be this. We'll use Welsh names. Well, we could actually use names for both. No, we'll use Welsh names. I can change what colour it'll appear as. Okay, we're going to call this... We're going to call this Arthurian culture. We're going to give it a new colour. We might give it kind of a much thicker red colour. Honestly. Something like that. Form a hybrid culture. The Arthurian hybridization, spurred on by positive relations and increased cultural exchange, the Anglo-Saxon and Welsh peoples have grown increasingly close over the years. Now individuals from these societies began to view themselves not as one or the other, but as both, a new Arthurian culture. Welsh traditions and values form the backbone of this new culture, while various Anglo-Saxon attributes have been newly adapted and integrated to meet the needs of their new society. With the Arthurian people now looking to me for guidance, it's time to set the stage for our shared future. To a new age, a new era, a new people. Okay. We need a cultural fascination, I suppose. We will go with royal prerogative. Interestingly, territory that I don't control has also decided to change. So these bits here down in Somerset, they've also changed, which I wasn't expecting. But also interestingly, not all of my territory has changed. I might want to get someone on that, honestly. We'll see what we can do. Okay. So here is maybe our answer. Also, I seem to have enough... Oh, that's interesting. So this is new. Before, if you had a wife who also had her own territory, she couldn't help you on the council. But my wife here does seem to be able to provide me with some help, which is useful, because it increases my domain. Means I don't have to give anything away. There are a few things I enjoy more than King Magnus's company. Rowdy night in town, a lot of new acquaintances truly took my mind off my troubles. After this short break, I felt more at ease than I had in a long time. I'm lucky to have a friend like him. May not have a friend like him for very long. Oh god, we are massively occupied at the moment. It's a real problem. I wish you'd hurry up and either lose this war or wipe peace out. We finished an increased control task, which is good. Where is not occupied? Can I do these tasks in occupied counties? No, I can't. Okay, we'll go back to training our commanders until I can do something about it. I'm impressed with how long England has held out in this war. I will say that you've done better than I expected. We are going to build a duchy building, although we don't have the duchy. So maybe I'll build a... Oh, I can't build a duchy building there, can I? Yeah, we don't have the duchy, so building a duchy building, not much point. We'll just build regular buildings for now. Let's up the... Oh my gosh. Right, war declared on liege. Duke Sealwolf of East Seaxer he's in a liberty war. Okay, I'm astonished that you didn't just say, yeah, let's have liberty, given the state we are in, England. But okay, my recent endeavours within the realm of theology, that's because I'm in the learning lifestyle, have given me a greater appreciation for God's representatives on earth. I'll draft a letter to the King Bishop Alexander. So I can try and compliment him and he'll gain an opinion of me. And it depends on how well, or I can go for this and just gain some piety. And how well it fits him will affect my chances of success. So do I think he is rational? I mean, he's very, very learned. And he is a scholar. Or his faith, which seems like kind of an obvious one. Or his forgiving nature, which he is. Let's go with forgiving, as he has the literal forgiving trait. Excellent. Lifestyle experience and opinion. Wonderful. Sway, compliments. To make my vassal Lord Cadogan more susceptible, I can include a compliment to him. Do I think he's ambitious? Yes. There we go. He likes it. Marvellous. We are 1 year away from... oh gosh, okay. Lord Cadogan has passed away, and we've lost this bit of territory, which is annoying, because I was hoping to potentially get a claim on here before that happened. But oh well. So I can't sway that guy anymore. I can try swaying this guy. I'm assuming I still can't really befriend you. 33% chance, it's not a good chance. It seems like everyone and their mother has the Principality of Powys as their primary heir. I don't know what's going on with that, but I really wish they stopped. Also, I'd like it if it weren't to be a hunchback. I'm worried about the genes. I'm worried about the genes. Oh, let's get you married. It's important that you get married. I want to make sure that you have children, so that you don't pass things off to this guy as well. Right, okay, my liege is about to be deposed. Don't know what that'll do to the Liberty War. England has finally lost the Tyranny War. Okay. Marvellous. King Girth has become my new liege. And he has a +20 opinion of me. We are apparently allies, which is good news. That probably means he can't really do much against me. I could also try and convert him to witchcraft if I wanted to. Let's see how the votes fall out. So currently Northumbria is in the lead, tied with Sealwolf of East Seaxa. And I could, if I wanted, add to the tie myself, because I've now got a voting strength of 4. Or I could make Denmark definitely win. Children, claimants, and vassals. Annoyingly, I can't, like... oh, can I filter? I can filter them. Can I filter... Do any of them come from Brythonic heritage? They do, actually. Weirdly. My wife is a candidate. Do you have a claim? You do! I don't know how you have a claim, but you're a claimant. My sister-in-law I could vote for. Ah! I've now got a much longer list of things that people are in relation to me. I'm going to vote for my wife. So we now have a 3-way tie, but the king's vote will break the tie, so she won't actually get it, I don't think. He wants me to be Chancellor, which is great. Not as good as some of the other positions. I can declare wars. I can declare war on Powys. Oh yeah, for those things. I can, let's have a look. I can attack the Hoiber still. So I'm not going to though. I no longer have an alliance with this guy. Oh my god. How did you manage to lose that? Oh well, at least it's still in my realm. What did you do? Meanwhile, this war, and still nothing happened. They've just sat there. How long ago did this war start? 3 years ago. For 3 years, they have been stood watching each other from across the hills. McKincleth have been there. Glendwindod. I think I may have been to where this is as well. I've been all around up here, because this is where there's, in the modern day, there's lots of little narrow gauge railways that used to serve all the slate mines and coal mines and what have you. They're all very pretty places to be in. I've noticed my war does have... my liege does have another war going on. He's actually fighting over Wiltshire at the moment. All is well in the world of England. What's England's... Oh, England's currently being ruled from over here, which is nice. What's your military strength? It's not honestly particularly amazing. It's certainly, I'm guessing, going to be a lot smaller than France. Oh, and my liege died again. Okay. Who's this guy? Right, we're not allies. He moderately likes me, which is okay. He's a good, hearty boy. I could pay homage to him. I'm a little low on prestige at the moment, so I might leave off that. He's offering me position of Chancellor again. Presumably, there's going to be another election. Okay, so now who's got good vote score? This guy who's ill. More importantly, who's the king currently voting for? The current king is voting for the old king. Marvellous. Does anyone have any votes who is of Brythonic heritage? Yeah, actually this guy, but again, he's my vassal, so I don't really want to give him the kingship. Because then I'll lose territory to him. Well, he does only have one county. I definitely never thought of him as being the new Arthurian king. It reckons my voting strength is 3, but she has 4 votes from just me. So I don't know what's going on there. I'm sure something will sort itself out. I am sorely tempted to change my vote. Yeah, especially now. Okay, so now that I'm just at rank 3. Toggle filters. Reset to default. So now that I'm just 3, and the winner has 4. Might want to change my vote back. Why do you have 0 votes? Let's vote for this guy who's my friend. The Eye of the Expert. Adam approaches me. He's my guest. You can help but notice the fine craftsmanship of my mail. However, only true expert of the battlefield could identify the 10 adjustments that could make it an even more effective tool. I tune him out when he starts rambling about symmetry, balance, and edge consumption. When I get the general gist, Adam can improve my artifact in exchange for a symbolic token of my gratitude. A hook. I don't see why I wouldn't want you to have a hook. You may want to look out though, because the guy who made this was a lunatic. So just be careful that he didn't include any like traps. And has that particularly improved my fine shiny mail? No, I do still want it. Hey, it has. I think that's a better prowess bonus than it was before. I can claim the Lordship of Penllyn. See it done. Oh, I did get the duchy claim, which is a shame. Okay. We're declaring war for my claims. This may or may not end. Yeah, okay, so this ends the war with my vassal, which is fine, because that'll stop my vassal from gaining independence by also becoming a duke. None of my territories are occupied, which is great, because it means that actually you can start improving control. Some of the places that have terrible control. I can call in my allies. I'm not expecting to need to, and it might be a bit difficult to afford. Although you do have about 1,000 troops. I've got like 3,000 troops. I'll be fine. Now what I do need to do is not have my entire army ambushed as they get raised. Which has happened before. Right. Are you going to go up there, and are you now finally going to be encouraged to fight this army? That would be quite funny, honestly. My courtier Conchian, whoever this is plotting against Aelfswith, the Fiend. Oh, are you going to go and siege Anglesey? Don't go and siege Anglesey. Anglesey's really annoying to fight, because it's across a strait. That's fine, I'll siege this and then I'll go relieve my siege. Everything will be good. There's a few wars going on, it's a little hectic. Northamptonshire is still apparently occupied. My liege won their war with Prince Edmund, so you grab that bit of Dorset or whatever. How's this going? Magnus Godwin. Have people changed? Okay, you've changed to this guy, who is also my friend. Oh no, this is the same guy, he's just got a hat on now. Someone puts a hat on and I instantly am unable to recognise them as my friend that I've had for 10-20 years. And we've got the Knights Templar has been established. Which is great, probably. Right, we've got some war score, we've got some prisoners. We're going to go fight this guy. He's trapped himself down on this little peninsula. I can't remember what it's called. I've been there though. Klin. Iriri? I've been to Iriri. I think I've been to the Valley of Railforth Railway, which goes to Iriri. We killed some dudes. We actually got about a 1-to-1 KD ratio in that battle, which I'm not used to. I can also petition my liege. Liege, can you help me with all the low county control that the last liege left? I'm escorted into King Weresford's throne room. I carefully describe the problem. He wants something in return again. He wants a hook on me. He'll gain stress. He'll gain opinion of me. Yeah, while I'm like an active criminal, I'm very wary of giving out hooks. They can also use them to change my contract, which I don't want. I don't really have the prestige for this, but we'll give it a go. Martial challenge, diplomacy challenge, or 25% chance. Slavic, the king's courtier. Perhaps I could appeal to his diplomatic nature. We'll give it a go. He's unconvinced. That's a shame. I don't think it was a terrible shout, trying to do the 50-50-ish one on the control. Yeah, I'm not likely to use my prestige for super duper much. That violent. You're going to take 3 months. You're going to take 4 months, so I actually need to... No, I want the army. Okay. You guys, that was siege commander. Right. Let's go relieve the siege. I'll keep up. Victory is ours once more. And we win! Right, I'm now once again over my limit, but that's fine because I have a plan. My plan is for my slightly illegitimate child to be granted Penllyn. He became my vassal. Marvellous news. I could also negotiate an alliance with him. I don't think I need one, as he is my child. We own a little bit more of Wales. How much do we need of Wales? Oh yeah, so we lost the county, then we gained the county, so it's balanced out. Now, you have a terrible hat and beard and just everything. Can we get you something better? Warm cap, Jarl's cap, hood, noble cap, oh it's terrible, regular cap. This might actually be the best hat you have available, isn't it? Because your hairdo is pretty pants as well. Lots of culturally inappropriate. Put you in a Chester hat. Oh dear. What's a chaperon? Oh, okay. I saw something that looked fantastically large. Was it this? Don't know. Oh, it was this. Oh my god, the Ecumenical Patriarch headgear. Okay, maybe we'll leave you in this hat, because actually there's nothing better for you. You're just the sort of person that doesn't suit anything. My liege is 1 in the Liberty War, which is a little bit of a shame. Now, Meredith has been swayed. I can ask my head of faith for gold, which is going to be a worthwhile use of that piety. I also want to look closely at this election, actually. Vote score. So obviously my friend is leading, and this is the son of the old grumpy guy. You're in 2nd place. Northumbria is there. Then my Steward also has 3. Sealwolf also has 3. Who's voting for you? Who's voting for the Viking guy? I can't see anyone voting for the Viking guy. Who's voting for you? Countess Riont, the Countess of Cornwall, apparently. I'm honestly quite happy with my voting choice at the moment. Like, obviously I'd love my wife, but she doesn't have enough. Like, these are the people, apart from the king, these are the people who I could put in the lead instead if I wanted to. I'm quite happy to have my friends there. I also think he was kind of quite unfairly deposed, to be honest. Right, we have money, which is excellent. We can now go and spend that money, probably to get more money. Right. Okay. Right. Marvellous. Okay, so the guy I was voting for has been installed by a faction. Oh my gosh, the King of England. How long have we been playing for? We've been playing for just shy of 30 years. And in that time, we've had 1, 2... Hang on. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4 changes of crown. Which is one every, what, 7 odd years on average? Marvellous. Let's see, who are other people voting for? Lots of people voting for this guy. I'm going to hold my vote, see if the votes change a little bit. Because it often takes like a month for things to settle down after the succession. The game, for some reason, just really can't keep up. Low control. How are we doing on that conversion? 21 months. And I'm once again made Chancellor. I don't know why I keep losing the job as Chancellor, but I do. I tell you what, Duchess Margaret, you've kept your looks exceptionally well up to the age of about 50. If I look this good when I'm 50, I will be very happy. Honestly. There are going to be so many people floating around with claims on the Kingdom of England now. It's unreal. Oh, I've got a learning perk. Fantastic. I want to unlock cultural fascination progress. What I've never understood about this perk is if it also applies if you aren't the culture head. Because I tend to be culture head for most of the time while I'm playing this game. Because, you know, players are just much better at expanding their realm than the AI is most of the time. But I've never really figured out if it applies if you aren't culture head. Right, so let's have a look at this election. Vote score. Oh, wow. Everybody and their mother wants this guy to be the next king. Like, properly. Even the current king wants this guy to be the next king. Honestly, don't think I have a problem with that so much. You know, I'd rather you... Well, actually, you might be about the same strength. No, definitely I'd rather you than Northumbria. I maybe might rather that guy, but he's not going to get it, so, you know, it's between these two. I'll pick this guy. Crusader Kings. Christian pilgrims to the Holy Land suffer all manners of abuse. Roll credits, for one thing. In order to protect the pilgrims and secure Jerusalem for Christ and the faithful, His Holiness Pope Alexander has accepted the possibility of an outright invasion by joint Christian forces. Christian faiths now have access to crusades. Is that all Christian faiths? A new faction has immediately been put up. Marvellous. No, because there's still these tenets that seem to be required for Great Holy Wars. New law. Malise passed limited crown authority. Oh, and he's being attacked. He's fighting a tyranny war. He's obviously trying to imprison or revoke a title down in Dorset. And it hasn't gone well for him. Well, it's about to go really badly for Dorset, let's be honest. They're brave 700 men. Oh, they are actually allied with the King of England, which is very unfortunate. Yeah, their brave 700 men are about to be smashed. Yep, every single one of them died. This is the sort of war where, if I weren't already friends with my liege, it might be worth joining it, because it's a guaranteed victory. And he'll like me more for joining it. Oh boy. So this is something the real Merlin obviously never had to deal with. The faithful prepare for war. A papal envoy has reached my court, bringing news from the Vatican. Pope Alexander has issued a call to arms to all righteous Christian rulers. As a Catholic Duke, I'm expected to prepare my men in support of this most holy cause, sponsored by the Universal Church itself. So I can say, maybe. I can chuck in money for piety, or I can pledge actual troops. It's probably a lot cheaper in the long run to send the money. No, my warriors will be ready to fight. In the First Crusade. I have no beneficiary selected. I should probably choose one. Now, I don't exactly know how the criteria for beneficiaries work. Beneficiary from their dynasty. Upon victory, the beneficiary will receive lands in the targeted realm. I suppose they have to be an adult and of my dynasty, if I had to guess then, and unlanded. But then why not you? Why can't I pick my heir? Do I have to not be in line for anything? So it's really quite a question. Either way, I'll select my daughter as my beneficiary. For whatever reason, I pretty much have exclusively had female beneficiaries. I tell you what this is going to do, though. This is going to mean that all of my granddaughters are potentially going to move away if we win. So I do want to make sure that we actually... I can ally with Venice? Wow. Oh, she's 40 though. Maybe not. Let's set a quick age difference filter. Oh, we can't get any allies, that's fine. Oh, we can get an ally. Well, that's power. County of Girona. I'm sure I want you as an ally. Okay. We'll go by summable skills. Hello there, apologies for a little interruption. We do occasionally have some internet connection difficulties that interrupt the stream, but we do seem to be back in action. I don't know exactly at what point things messed up, but we have this crusade that has just been declared for the Kingdom of Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a terrible place to take in the crusade. Like, it's a tiny kingdom. It's surrounded by enemies that are much, much larger than it. It's very far away, and it normally gets taken back, within a decade or two. You should never, ever, ever really be crusading for Jerusalem if you can possibly help it. Now, I am definitely not going to get enough piety to redirect the crusade to somewhere useful before it launches. We have 15 months. Don't actually know how long a pilgrimage takes. I'd need about 250 piety, I think it takes to redirect. Redirect war. Yeah, it costs 500 to redirect it. I could do that if I wanted. Like, I could try and go for a pilgrimage. It would probably be much more in the interest of Catholicism to push for somewhere like Spain, where there are fewer of the Mulwadi faith in general, and it's also closer to other Christian kingdoms, so there are allies on hand. Rather than over here, where half of Christendom is out of diplomatic range, we can't form alliances even if we want to. But like I said, I don't think I'll be able to get that in time, and it's not that much my problem. I am very much more focused. We are a down-to-earth dynasty. We are much more focused on what's going on here in Britannia, rather than some guy down in Italy being crossed with some guy over in. Well, I suppose it's the Fatimids. That's some guy in Egypt. Our defenders at the moment. At the moment, we just have the Fatimids as defenders, and it's just me and the Pope who've pledged to attack. I'm hoping that's going to change. Although, actually, honestly, in that matchup, we'd definitely win, because the Pope always spews forth, 10,000 mercenaries. And we'd have the troop advantage anyway. It won't end up being that. We'll end up with lots of defenders. My councillor has died of old age, the Earl of Worcestershire. Oh, I remember you. You were complaining about not being on the council. We have a powerful vassal here, who would be a pretty decent marshal, except our current marshal is already a good marshal and bad at everything else. So instead we're going to have this guy, and we're just going to worry. Are you in a faction? You are in a faction. I can't befriend you, so I guess we're going to have to try and sway you. Yeah, definitely focus on closer to home things. Oh, the Crusade's not looking good. This is going to be one of those things where what we probably want to do is sail down, siege down like a territory somewhere over here. It's very far away from the action. And then go home. So we can say we've done our bit. The Pope won't be mad at us. I don't know, does the AI ever redirect? Do they have this button? Could they choose to redirect if they wanted to? Because part of the thing is, although we do outnumber them by about a third, give or take, we'll be getting there piecemeal. We won't all be showing up as one big stack of 24k and marching into the Holy Land. We'll be trickling in as people arrive from sort of different distances away. Do I want to call this hunt? I'll leave the hunt for now. We'll be trickling in from different distances away. I'll be one of the last lot to get there. And then once we get there, half of them will be starving already from having trekked, across the mountains down here, and then sat on a boat for ages just to get here. And it's all just going to be a total mess, quite frankly. I have just remembered, I do still have this proposed alliance interaction available with someone. It's very difficult to find people to actually ally with. Like, most people don't particularly like me that much. And I don't think there's going to be any filter. I suppose there will be a filter. Find character. Set to defaults. I want all people inside range. And then filter them by opinion of me. And they have to be landed. I guess they have to be of Catholicism, probably, to actually want to ally with me. I have to find people who aren't my vassals. This guy. 833. You've got 1800. Oh, but she's at war. She's like literally just started the war. I see even Northumbria won't join because of base reluctance. Do I know what your score would be? You don't, but you might accept, theoretically. Okay, we might wait for you to stop being at war, which will probably happen when the Crusade starts. And then you might be a worthwhile ally that we can negotiate with. Ireland's looking a lot more unified at the moment. Which is nice. Are we already allies? We're not. Well, I can't propose an alliance with you. Interesting. I tell you what I could do is I could look. Actually, what level is this? This is a kingdom rank realm. So you're going to have a court, and in your court, which looks really nice by the way, love it. You have artifacts. There is a chance when you siege down the holding of the capital of someone who has artifacts. There's a chance that you can pinch those artifacts. Now, I suppose a lot of them aren't going to be enormously useful to me, because I'm guessing a lot of them... Oh, okay, so some of them will give me piety and stuff. Prestige, I don't know what this is. It's just good ruby. Stuck in a bit of cloth. Yeah, so some of your artifacts might theoretically be nice for me to have, although obviously I can't actually display any of them yet. Because we... Can I see what your personal artifacts are? Oh, he's not here. You, hello. Open your inventory. I can. So you've got a fancy crown and everything, and I'm missing a councillor. Earl Edric died. Oh, that's good. I've got a vassal who really wants to be a marshal. How did you die? You drank yourself to death. And I've got this guy who's unhappy. Oh, you'd be an excellent spy master. Welcome to the team. No more unhappy. Oh boy, this faction's actually... This faction's looking a little feisty. Can I not befriend any of you? I can befriend you. I can't befriend you. Okay, we'll try and befriend this guy. Liege is having a peasant revolt. You're currently beating Seal Wolf, and you might be finished soon, which would be good. Oh, I definitely need to call a hunt now. Oh boy. And let's also upgrade this as we're about to go to war, although I don't know if it'll be finished in time. Why are you losing a peasant uprising? How are you losing this peasant uprising? Where are the peasants? I can't see them. Hunt, injured. Bounding through the plains, I'm gaining on the sly fox I've been chasing for hours. And then this guy, my Chancellor. Are you in a faction at the moment, Chancellor? You are? Okay. Let's tend to him. Again. You're really bad at not getting injured on my hunts, aren't you? Apparently, England has lost a battle against the peasants. The peasants that I can't see. The invisible peasants. We return home in disappointment. I might ask, like, this is such a guaranteed win. It might well be worth asking to join. Oh, I can't. He's not a war leader. Ah, okay. Yes, I missed that. That's actually this guy's peasant uprising, and that's why I can't see the peasants. Okay. We've also finished promoting culture. Excellent news. Let's get... It takes the same kind of wherever I go. So let's get the Welsh border region under wraps. Oh no, we don't want that because we want... No, we do want... Well, okay, we'll work it out down here for now. Okie doke. Let's move our rally point down here, getting ready for this crusade. Once it's in 9 days. 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. Crusade for Jerusalem. The time has finally come to bring St. George's holy wrath against the, quote, vile infidels, unquote, of Jerusalem. How's it looking? Oh, we outnumber them 2-1 at the moment. That's looking really good. Right, raise the men. And let's get on a boat. Nice to see this vassal of mine is coming with. Powis, former enemy of ours, is also coming with. Good. This is the only good thing about Crusades, is it really brings Europe together. Let's sort of sail down here. I'm thinking in an ideal world, what will happen is someone will get here soon and will start to siege these territories, and then I might have a crack at sieging down the capital. Who's got a new alliance? I'm immediately being raided. Who's this guy? Chieftains of Sutherland. Iceland has been like, oh, there's a crusade on. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna nab down here and pillage. That's not even my territory. I'm gonna nab down here and pillage England. Oh dear, another thing I don't think Arthur really had to deal with. I also want to actually be leading this myself. Freedom and friendliness. He wants me to... I'll gain stress because I'm stubborn. But I think it's probably worth it. It's worth it to help get rid of the faction. You're now the only one in it. You still really wanna... you still really want to be on the Gwyneth throne, don't you? Right. This next segment will be brought to you by Sailing By. Hang on, I've done something wrong there. After learning that Olweston would be attending the dance in the village of Caergybi, I decided it would be a perfect occasion. We became friends. Marvellous. So, faction disbands? Faction disbands? Well, you're already out of the faction, and it's actually someone else. It's actually someone else. Gosh darn it. Oh, it's the guy who keeps falling off his horse. him. We've got a 10k stack here. That have landed already. Don't know where the actual bad guys are. Also, this 10k stack is... Where are you? Where are you going? I literally can't zoom out far enough to see where you're going. It's down here. The target is down here. They're going to here. Around around what? It just boggles the mind. That's the Pope. That's the Pope being completely incompetent. I don't know why you're going that way. That's... Can't you just come and siege down here? Was there some big scary army that they didn't notice? Oh dear. It is instantly normally a good idea to check for big scary armies. Yeah, look, see, we're already undersupplied. We haven't got there yet. Right. So I'll sit here. Just for a second. Okay, we can't see any big scary armies. We've got two ways we can go to get to Cairo in 2 sieges. We can go Damietta, Sharkia, or we can go Al-Buhara, Giza. I'm thinking that this is the safest way because then bad guys have to get kind of all the way across Egypt. And you know, okay, we won't be doing that much to help the actual crusade proper, but does that matter? There'll also be this guy and his one soldier. Can I catch him? Oh, I could, potentially, but it'd be bad news. Oh, I also want you... Oh, I'm not in the Holy Lands, there's no point in you being in charge yet. Following the descent of the lowly thief, I asked my son what he thought. He claimed he'd learned a lesson about not reaching for one he can handle. Temperate. Temperate's a good trait. Oh, that means you've probably got, like, things that you can actually be educated in and stuff that I could choose. You're definitely having a diplomacy education. We'll keep temperate on you. It's going to take us like a year to siege down this place. But it's fine because I've got enough war contribution that no one's going to be mad at me. Hopefully no one's going to come and say hi. And by say hi I mean invade horribly. Oh, the Pope's come back. Everyone is faffing about up here. We've increased control in the county. Oh my god, he's got his Crusader garb on. It doesn't look good on you. Where else do we have low control? Leicestershire and Northamptonshire. Let's get Northamptonshire, it looks worse. Oh boy, uh-oh. And while I was looking away, I was ambushed by an enormous army that has killed everyone. Well, that didn't go so great. I looked away for 5 minutes. Learning perks available. Let's grab pedagogy. That was really terrible, honestly. I think that battle was just me as well. It was 10%, minus 10% war score to us, just from me dying horribly. Okay. Let's never do that again. Might be a good idea to see if we can rejiggle our men at arms. Oh, we can't because I've got the money. Oh dear. On that note, honestly, on that note of utter, crushing, depressing failure, it's probably time for us to end. I think we're going to sit out the rest of this crusade and allow Christendom to deal with it themselves. If you've enjoyed watching, then please do consider giving me a follow on Twitch, where I am disfordemise_, or if you're watching this on YouTube, please consider subscribing. I'm disfordemise there, and I'm disfordemise on Twitter as well, where you can get notifications every time I go live. All that remains for me to say is thank you very much for watching. I'll probably be bringing you more Crusader Kings 3 Royal Court tomorrow, and I may be back later today with something else like Minecraft. Thank you very much, and goodbye.